Our sponsor for the show is My Fulfillment Team. My Fulfillment Team is a state-of-the-art inventory processing company. You source, we process, you profit. The receive, store, prep, pack, ship, Amazon Plus, anything that you need to have bagged, bubbled, bundled, shipped into Amazon or shipped in for your own website or Walmart or Shopify or anything like that, they can do. Check them out. You can find them at www.myfulfillmentteam.com. They are family owned and operated for 9+ years now. They never touch your inventory again, automate your process, pay for only the services you need. Again, www.myfulfillmentteam.com. Please check them out. All right, guys, I have a good friend of mine today, Barbara Bouchon, with me, and we're going to introduce her in 1 second. But first, before we do that, we're going to go into a little bit of an intro about the presentation and about her. So first of all, we're going to be talking about EasyKey, which is automated keywording to grow your RA and OA in wholesale business. We're going to talk about Barbara. Barbara Bouchon left the corporate world to fulfill her dream of becoming a full-time entrepreneur. After establishing a successful online selling business, she was determined to branch out and help others fulfill their dreams. By co-founding Co-Merchant offers a variety of software and services, including EasyKey, an automated Amazon keywording tool that dramatically grows sales. With our 20 years of business background in finances, e-commerce, and product management, she is well positioned to enable others for success. Look to Co-Merchant to improve both your Amazon business as well as help you grow in other channels like Walmart and Jet, etc. EasyKey does it all with just a few clicks, and you can keyword 500 listings in a fraction of the time it takes a private label seller to do just one listing, and all for just pennies a listing. Barbara will also be having a giveaway at the end, so if you stick around to the end of the show, she has a giveaway for 2 special guests, so make sure you stay around for that. Barbara, thanks again. This is the second time I think I've had you on my show, and always good to have you back. And
Thanks.
Talking about EasyKey, which I'm excited because I think a lot of people will find that this tool that you provided for back-end keywords is going to help simplify their business in a big way.
Yeah, it's something that is really, it grew out of our own selling business. So it's really exciting, and it really, been called game changing by a couple people that are using it. And so we're really excited to, get the word out and let people know about it, because it's been really helping our business. It's been helping our customers' business. And it was just something I was struggling with, and we found a solution.
Absolutely. I know you prepared a presentation for this, a PowerPoint. I don't know if you want to get right into that, or if you want to say anything more than what I've already said about you before we get started for the people that may not know you. This is being live streamed on the Facebook group, as well as we also have a watch party going on. So.
Oh, neat. A watch party. Well, I mean, it's part of the presentation to sort of give you a background of, and it's meaningful because you need to understand where I came from. I was in corporate America. I was working a zillion hours a week. I loved my job. I just didn't love working all those hours, and, once in a while, well, quite often doing some really dumb things for people that, were political and not necessarily value driven. And, the same old shtick with the corporate world. And I got a job. I knew it was going to be about 24 months. And I thought, this is my last job. This is the last thing I'm doing. And then I'm out. I'm going to try something else for a while. And my husband and family were very supportive. So it allowed me to start doing Amazon. Did that for a couple of years. And then, before I quit my job, and this was when the time I was ready to go full time, I did. So it was pretty huge. I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Uh-oh.
Guys, I put in the chat, can you guys type a 1 if you can hear Barbara okay? We want to make sure she's got a lot of information to share with you today. We want to make sure that you can hear that. And also let Barbara know where you're from. What area are you listening from? Give her a heads up and let her know what part of the country or the world you're actually listening
I can see
to
the
the show
chat.
from.
Oh, good. All right. Phoenix. It's a lot warmer there than here. We're just starting to get cold and sweater time. So when I left Amazon, when I left corporate world and I went to Amazon, I had 15 people shopping. We did a lot of RA. I ended up getting suspended at one point and realizing that maybe I needed to be diversified because we were only doing RA, we were only doing Amazon. So we started looking at other business models. We started looking at other marketplaces to sell on. And the last time we did the show, we were talking about co-merchant, which helps you relist from Amazon onto Jet and Walmart, really just to take the same assets that you're using and leverage them better. And that's sort of where we're at with everything we do. Everything I'm looking at is like, how can I do this better? How can I be more strategic? How can I, what's the phrase, do more with less? And one of the things, I could probably cut over to the presentation pretty soon, but one of the things we do account management for other people. We've been selling on Amazon for 10 years. We've got, some guidance that we can give people. So we've been helping manufacturers do account management, just diversifying and trying to do things, again, do a lot more without so much effort and so much work. And we sell RA, we sell wholesale, we sell online arbitrage, we do private label in our Amazon business. And so we sort of have a mix of everything, which has been huge because it's really exposed me to having to learn how to optimize a listing, how to do advertising, how to do all these things, which informed how EasyKey came along. So let me see if I can share the presentation. I'm not that good at Zoom. There, share. What screen do we want this one? Can you guys see that? I'm gonna put it in front of me. Can you guys see the screen?
I see a blue screen.
Okay. So I know. How about now?
Yes. Now I
Okay.
see PowerPoint.
Okay, perfect. So, let me go back a little bit. A lot of people who do RA, OA, and wholesale don't optimize listings. And the reason they don't is because they have a huge catalog, generally speaking. Either they're going out and buying, this pair of shoes and that shirt and these cosmetics and all these different things that constantly rotate. And, there are replenishables, but for the most part, you're getting 10 of this, 20 of that, 2 of this, whatever. In RA, you're constantly changing. You have no time to optimize listings. The best you can do is, one of our customers adds 500 to 1,000 different products each week. And what they do is after 30 days, if it hasn't sold, they take a 10% discount. After 60 days, they take a 30% discount. After 90 days, when they're starting to get closer and closer to long-term storage fees, they just keep discounting. And at some point, they just liquidate or bring it back and try to sell it on eBay. And I have to believe that there's a better way than having to just give all your profit away. The same thing with wholesale vendors. We bring in wholesale a lot. I go to a lot of trade shows. We bring in a whole catalog. I might have 20 or 30 new listings from a catalog and maybe 10 catalogs from a trade show. Again, I don't know if they're going to work out. I don't have time to optimize them. Optimization takes a really long time. But keywording is so important because you really need to be as visible as you possibly can in a listing. So as we got into private label and as I started to struggle with the fact that the more I worked on private label products, the better they sold. And I thought, well, geez, how can I do that on wholesale? How can I do that on my RA in a time efficient manner to do basically what I'm doing, which is just getting more visibility and better conversion on my products that I just don't have the time to do as many. I would need a whole army of people to do images and rewrite copy and do keyword research. But it's so important. For example, let me go to the next. If you were to look at something, like we sell a lot of beauty products. So we sell shower gel. And shower gel gets about 9,500 searches a month. Body wash is the same thing as shower gel, and it gets 115,000 searches. Just by adding body wash or body wash for women or bubble bath or body wash is one word, you get tens of thousands of more chances to be found and have your product sold. So it's huge to have those words in there, but how do you do it? How do you get that process going where you can get body wash in there without having to do a ton of research. And this is what we were struggling with. As I did more and more private label, I was like, it's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. So our process, you know, our manual process, and this is what I was struggling with, and this is how EasyKey came to be, was we would go on Google, we would go on Amazon, we do autocomplete, we try to do keyword research, and we would get that all together. And then we would go and look and see, I would get all these keywords together and I'd look at my listing and see what was missing, and I try to insert it in there, and I try to do this really quickly, and I train the VA. And we were using, then we found helium-10, and that was huge. That cut time down a fair amount, but it was still really labor intensive. You know, it's like I would complain, but every time we did this, John, every single time stuff sold. As soon as we added body wash into that shower gel listing, my sales would increase. So it was really, really frustrating to me. And I was telling my business partner, and he's all IT and tech, and I said, this is so frustrating. Every time I do this process, which could take me a day to do, say, 30 listings, they all sell. So how can I do this faster? Like, what can I do? He goes, well, why don't you just do the keywords and don't try to put it in the copy and fix the titles and all that? I'm like, huge, that's huge. That'll be so much faster. It wasn't that much faster, unfortunately. It was better.
So Barbara, not to stop you for 1 second, you
Sure.
said that as soon as you did it, automatically it would sell. Do you believe that part of that was because Amazon recognized that you were using more words that were relevant to the listing, and that's why you got more exposure?
Oh, absolutely. I think it gave me a couple, you know, I always think of Amazon as this algorithm that gives you a couple points for different things. So just by editing my listing, I'm getting a couple extra points because I know I'm working on it. I think that's maybe a little superstitious on my part, but I fully believe that. I've looked at listings a couple times and we're like, oh, and then it sold. And I just looked at it to see, you know, the price or whatever, or to go in and make sure it was live on the screen. But every time you add words into it, Amazon now takes, you're in a different consideration set. So it was doing, somebody's looking for shower gel, shower gel, shower gel. And then they're looking for body wash. Now Amazon goes, oh, well, we can bring you into that search now, and maybe you'll be pretty good and be more, you'll be what this customer is looking for, and we'll test it. So adding more keywords, adding more information basically tells the Amazon, the robot, Amazon, the algorithm, that this product has more potential validity to a customer than it did just as shower gel. And that's what we found. And, you know, it's not really rocket science because most of the listings on Amazon are pretty bad. You know, most of them barely, you know, you either have the ones that the manufacturers made that were very, very basic, and they said it's 64 ounces, it's in a plastic jug, and it's, you know, lavender scented. That's it. There's no emotional, there's no, you can use this on your car, you can use this, you know, whatever the case may be. There's no use cases. Most of the listings are very flat and very, very thin. So by adding in information to Amazon, the algorithm gets almost, you know, invigorated to say, hey, we've got more candidates for this word search. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we did this whole process. It would take us 1 to 2 hours of listing when we were doing like the full, you know, the full rewrite and adding images. And that was doing a pretty basic job. When we just did the keywords, we still saw basically it was less work to put them in the back. And the nice thing is when we just started doing keywords manually and doing the back end search terms, we didn't have to ask Amazon's permission every time to change the listing. And that was a huge time waster to have to go and say, hey, when I change the title, and then they would refer you to the brand, or they would say, show me a website, and all that work. It took for, you know, it was taking way too long. But as I started being able to show the results and show my business partner, Brian, I said, Brian, look what happens when I do this. I was like, I did these 10 listings in the last 3 days, you know, try to fit them in the middle of everything else. And of the 10 listings, I already got 8 sales. And he's like, what? And I said, but it's just taking me too long. So he said, you know what? You got my attention now, because he's always got, you know, things to do with the software or whatever. He goes, you got my attention now. Show me the whole process. I sat him down and he said, I can automate this. I was like, why didn't you automate it like a month ago? I was complaining. I was like, this is huge. What do you mean you can automate it? He goes, we already have a direct link from the software we made to do relisting into the Amazon account. So I can put all your listings in, and you can tell me which ones you want a keyword, and then I can look at competitors' listings, find the words that they have, which is basically the process you're doing, and figure out what words you missed. I was like, that is very interesting. So what you're saying is, I'll give you, say, 10 listings, and we were doing this on a flat file in the beginning. And you'll go out and you'll take those listings, you'll look at them, figure out who their competitors are, come back with, say, 500 keywords, deduplicate them, get rid of the major brand names because you don't want to have Nike, you know, in an Adidas listing or something like that. You'll see which ones I've already used. And like, so in the case of the, you know, the shower gel, you'll find body wash and you'll find cleansing and you'll find moisturizing. And then I would upload it into the Amazon account. He says, yeah. I was like, well, that's great. And we did that for a while, and that the flat files got to be very cumbersome and very tedious. And when we did our beta, I said, we've got to make this it's got to be dead simple so that it's not taking any time at all, because even the lag time on Amazon is too much. You know, I hate tedious things. So he said, all right, well, you know what we could do? We could even make it simpler where you could just click, I'll just import them all into a form. You click the ones you want us to do. We'll go out and do it, bring back the results. You can give them a once over, and then you click another button and we'll load them in the back end search terms. So basically what it would take me, you know, hours to do, you know, just a handful of listings the old way. Now I could do them as long as I could click 500 at a time, and they'd be done, like, you know, by the time I got coffee and a bagel. So, and the results were amazing. So we started with the first test. I did 50 of the oldest, stalest, I have about 1,300 listings. 50 of the oldest, stalest listings I had that hadn't had a sale in any of them for 6 months. And I said, let's try this. Let's just use this. Maybe we can get it going. So I said, you know, like, let's start with the junk. And if it helps the junk, it's going to help everything else even that much more. So we did it in an hour, and I'm not exaggerating, 10 of them had sold. It was like, all Amazon needed to know was that it was also body wash, and we can put them in some more places. Within another day, 10 more had sold, and a couple days later, 10 more. Then I stopped looking, because for me, it was, you know, it was proven. It was proof that, you know, if I got 30 out of 50 that hadn't sold in 6 months, I'm excited. So let's see, well, I already talked about that, so I'll just skip that slide. But basically, the way the whole process works, and we've taken that whole manual thing out of the picture, is we take your listing, we look at 10 to 20 competitors, we find the keywords that they have, we eliminate any duplication, we eliminate any brand names. I think we've got about 8,000 brand names right now, and we have a way that you can add, you know, if we've missed any, because I'm sure we're going to miss some, you can add them in so we can get rid of them as well. It deduplicates, again, I said that, and it looks at my listing and says, you've already used these words. We're just going to take the strongest words in sort order, the ones that occurred the most, so we get the most bang for our buck on the 249 character limit, and click it again, and it puts it in the back end search terms. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes, makes sense, and it makes it like a click of a button, easy.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's huge.
Yeah, because I've done that before. We've had to manually do that, and that's not fun, especially when you got to start taking up brand names and doing all the things that you're doing. Because there's a lot of programs out there that will do that and will put the brand names and everything, and you have to sit there and eliminate and copy and paste and do all this stuff. It's a lot of work. But if you're doing it and the software is doing it all for them, it just makes it so much easier where they can concentrate on making their money versus having to worry about their listings.
Yeah. And that's where I was like, I don't want to spend a lot of time and effort on something that I might only have for a season, like a wholesale account. It might be a good wholesale account. I may get other sellers that come in and undercut me and it gets destroyed. You know, I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to be with me. How much energy am I going to invest in that versus like a private label where, you know, I have 3,000 units in the warehouse saying you better spend a lot of time selling us through. We've seen really good results. One of our customers, after they used EasyKey, they were doing like 8, they actually used it on one of their private label products to see if they had missed anything. And I wouldn't recommend it for private label as much, because I think with private label, it's in your best interest to really get in the weeds and really like dig through the dirt and find everything. But she just wanted to try it and see what, you know, she did her RA and her wholesale. She said, when I did that, she goes, I missed some things we weren't even thinking about. All the research we had done was in one direction. And when we got through with EasyKey, we went from 6 to maybe 8 sales a day to 30 to 35 units a day. And she says, because we weren't even thinking about the direction that the product, you know, our competitors were taking it in. We have other people that use it just to, you know, handle off stuff that's going into long-term storage. Other people that use it just literally, one of our customers basically gets up every day, sits down at the computer, finds all the new ones that are live. So we only do them once they go into FBA or if you have merchant fulfilled. And then she sets them to run, gets her coffee, gets her bagel, comes back, takes a look at them, clicks it again, puts them in the back end search term every day. Just a sort of like a care and feeding thing. I don't know. To me, it's just been a lifesaver. And the last thing that was really important in developing this was how much was it going to cost? Because it couldn't be, initially we're like, oh, we'll charge like $1 a piece. It's like, that was just way too expensive. Even though on private label, people regularly spend $100 a month, you know, $200 a month for programs like Helium 10 and Viral Launch, it doesn't make sense when you're doing RA, wholesale, and OA to spend that kind of money, because you're just not that invested in it, and you want to get a lot of stuff done. It's a volume game. So we basically, you know, if you only have a small catalog, it's $29 a month for 100 SKUs, and the price goes dramatically down the bigger your catalog is. So we're kind of like framing it up so that it works with, you know, the more volume you have, the cheaper it will be. So I don't know if I can release this now, although I could show, if you're going to want to see what it actually looks like, it's probably a good idea. Let me open up a browser.
All right, let's see. While you're doing that, we had a question from JR who asked, shouldn't it be 250 characters, not 249 max?
We always take that, it's up to 250, so we always do 249. But if you want the one character, this is not right. Why is it doing that? Hang on a second.
Yeah, he said just to be safe.
Yeah. I'm trying to get, my screen is truncated. Okay. So this is actually my account. I keep messing it up. There we go. So if I was going, let's say, so these are the products that we haven't updated yet. I would literally, can you see the screen okay? It's so weird that I can't see what you guys see.
I can see
I can click on a handful like this. I can change the thing to 500 and do 500 at a time if I want to. And it would click everything and do that. There's a little bit of lag with, give me a second. So if I were to do that, this face and neckline pore reducer, I hit the generate keywords, tells me yes. Now that is what that's doing right now is EasyKey is going out and looking at 10 competitors, pulling back all the keywords, sorting them by strength order, then it's eliminating the brand names, then it's looking at my listing and saying, you missed A, B, C, D. I'll come back. So for example, let's see, find one that makes sense. I don't think, now it takes a little bit, I can't use that example. As you can see, it's in progress right now. See, well, here's a good one. So I had an exfoliating spa soap right below it, and it missed words. sorry. Dual screening it here, and I just erased my example. Come right back. Oh, well, let me use this one on top, what it came back with. This is a journal, and what it came back was recycled. It came back, Munkin is a type of paper that if you're looking, it's a very expensive journal, you would be looking for it. That was missed. Thread stitching, which is something that's important in a journal, keeps it lay flat. You know, if it's it's a certain kind of binding. All these words, let me double click it, were missed in this listing. How many pages, you know, just by where it was Germany, it's a pretty thin listing apparently. And we're able to add all that in the back end so that someone's looking for a journal with, you know, thread stitching or eco-friendly or any of those words, they're all in there now. So it makes it a lot more viable for Amazon to show it against the competitors. Another good example. This one down here, we have a shower gel and a hand wash set. We missed pump, we missed lotion, we missed moisturizing, although I think that's the English spelling. Soap, a lot of words were missed. But this is, you know, and this is the way that the Amazon catalog is when you just are doing piggybacking. Most of the listings are very thin. There's not a lot of data in there. So let's say I want to get rid of Arctic, right? For whatever reason, that seems like a strange word in there. And then I'll update it. And then I'll click on it again, submit it to Amazon, and I'm done. Oops, one more, gonna say okay. And that's the extent of the tool. It's not complicated. We pretty much tried to get any of the tedious, any of, you know, make it usable, make it workable, but not make it, you know, like just so many bells and whistles that it's laborious.
So Barbara, when you say, this is the important part, when you say you're done, that means that this listing that you just changed these keywords and you added to them at a click of a button, when you say you're done, that means they're in the back end of your listing.
Yes, they are. They're in the search terms now, or they will be in about 10 minutes.
But I mean, it goes right to that. You don't have to write, you don't have to do anything.
I have to cut and paste. You don't have that. That was what was driving me crazy when we were doing the flat files. You know, then I have to go see, did it work? Yes, it worked. And I have to, you know, wait for Amazon to load. And if I were to cut and paste them over, the lag time on Amazon drives me crazy. I'm trying to see the chat here. So yeah, so that's a huge difference. Oh.
Big time saver.
Yeah. I'm getting something on my camera is doing something strange, but we'll let it go. So, you know, I mean, I wish I had more to say, but you know, the thing is I'm gonna release my screen. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's been huge in terms of increasing sales. The fact that we're growing sales means I'm spending less on storage fees and I'm spending less on advertising because things are just selling faster.
Yeah. Nicholas says, do you find that you need less PPC with this?
You know, again, I don't want to make unsupported promises, but I do, because basically the listing is becoming more organically found because it's becoming, you know, let's say like we had that one example that had the word Arctic in it for whatever reason. That probably wasn't a relevant term. You know, like if you use any keywording tools, you'll see a lot of times you get some strange stuff back. But Amazon will ignore that. It'll try it a couple times and then it'll say like nobody's looking for Arctic, you know, a journal, Arctic journal. That's just strange. It'll ignore it. But we'll take the words that do make sense and start having them index and start having them resonate with that listing, and you won't need to advertise as much.
JR had a question too. Can you see the chat, what JR wrote?
Yeah, let me put my glasses on. Tiny. We aren't, oh, well, here's the thing with that. So, when you update a listing, so he's asking, how do we, when we're Amazon, you're not the original creator of the listing, how do you know Amazon takes the keywords? In the one field in Amazon where they take everybody's contributions is the back-end search terms. So they're going to take the search terms, most likely the original lister didn't put any back-end search terms in because we're talking wholesale and RA and OA, and it's not private label. So they didn't probably populate most of the fields. But what happens is if you and I both contribute in the back-end search terms, Amazon will take both our contributions, show it to the customer and test it and say which one of those makes more sense. So shower gel and body wash, if I were to contribute body wash, would make a lot of sense. If you were to add moisturizing, that would make a lot of sense. It would take all those words and put them into the listing. Because remember, an Amazon listing is Amazon's listing. It's not yours, it's not mine, and it wants to have the best product and show the best results that make most sense to the customer.
Absolutely. Guys, I put the link in there too if you want to find out more about EasyKey. I put the link in there. You guys can click on that link. All right.
So I think, I run it every single day on my account. Some people will say, what is the best practices? I usually say, buy the biggest package, get your catalog done the first time, and then go down to where you're on a maintenance level. So if you add 100 listings every week, you want to be able to cover off on those. And then you also want to be able to go back in time and do the ones that you first did here and there. Like, I don't know, let's say you have 1,000 listings, you would do the 1,000 level. And then the next month, maybe go to 500 to cover the 50 or so you add a week. But then also to go back and re-keyword from time to time on your listings. And the reason you want to do that, so think about that shower gel example. I was at shower gel and I was with a certain set of competitors, but when I added body wash, I'm now in a different playing field with different competitors. So when you are able to go back, you're getting a better quality listing, and now you're going to possibly be set against competitors that are even better than that first set that you were at, if that makes sense. Uh-oh. John, you're muted again.
I am muted because I'm trying to give you all the time.
Oh.
If you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat for Barbara. She'll get those answered for you. I mean, if you guys think this tool is a great idea, type a 1 in there if you think this is a time saver. I mean, I think it absolutely is a time saver.
Of course I would. Yeah, to me, it's a huge time saver. Mm-hmm. And that was sort of the thing, because it came born out of my frustration that I couldn't do what I needed to do faster. Yeah, especially if you have tons of listings. I mean, I only have 1,300, and some of our customers have 30,000 listings. There's no way they're ever going to optimize that. And their methodology is just to like discount it. You know, this works good, it's sold. This doesn't work, discount it. But sometimes, it's just a good product that's sold in spite of itself. You found it in RA and you bought it. And then it sort of died out because, it was like only had a couple words in it.
Yeah. Just think of how helpful this tool is, guys, for doing RA and OA. I mean, it's unbelievable because this time of the year, this is go time. You don't want to be sitting there having to put stuff and fill back end listings with keywords. This tool will do it all for you. So you can just continue to do what you need to do. And that's just keep filling up the bank, keep filling the bank. I call filling the bank with the money because this is when you're going to do it. Just about anything and everything sells this time of the year.
Yeah, this is the best. It's the best. Put your best foot forward and get everything going as much as you can. Like, we're working like crazy now to just get everything keyworded, get everything, we've got this shelf of stuff that never got done. We've got to get that, listed and get going, getting that into Amazon. I'm at the point now where it's like my staff is going, are we really going to send this much in? I'm like, yes, we're going to send more in tomorrow because we're just trying to get it all in. What's the difference to EasyKey subscription? Oh, Co-Merchant is a relisting software. EasyKey is the keywording software.
Did I give him the right link? I'm pretty sure I did.
Well, I think maybe you need to just put Co-Merchant / EasyKey, maybe. I don't know. ProSeller, Co-Merchant. Well, we'll put the link in the post to make sure it's right. We'll test it. I think it's going to Co-Merchant John instead of EasyKey.
Yeah,
Same site, but different tab.
yeah, it should be going. It's
There you go.
right there.
Michael just kicked it in. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Yours is on ProSeller, so did you have it? You might just need to amend it.
Yeah, I copied and just shortened it is all I did. So he just put the EasyKey. Let's see if he put it in there. Okay. All right.
There you go.
In there. I'll double check that. If you want to continue to look at, both are there. Links show both EK and CM.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably right.
Thanks, Nicholas, for clearing that up. I thought it was there. I'm getting old. I could have put the wrong thing.
So, if anybody has any questions, we can. I'm happy to. Later on, I can answer them. I also have a couple giveaways. Are you ready for that?
We're going to do that in 1 second. We do have a question from Bill.
Oh, okay.
Bill says, in your example, you did only one listing. I assume that you would then do the same thing on all of them. If it is a listing created someone else, it might help them to get sales.
Yes, that's true. It's Amazon's listing. It's Amazon's ASIN. Everybody, it's the rising tide lifts all boats, and some of us have dinghies and some of us have yachts, but the more that listing sells, the better it is for everybody.
As far as the giveaway, we do have a giveaway. You were giving away, let me look back here, see, we've got two $25 gift cards that Barbara is giving away, and Brianna, who works behind the scenes for me, just came over and she did a drawing, and I have the two names here. And the two people that I have that have won this, and we will get this information over to Barbara. We'll get your emails and get it over. Are Crystal Hayes.
Yay!
Congratulations, Crystal. And the other name that was drawn is Nicholas Hauser.
Yay.
Congratulations, Nicholas.
Cool. Yep. And I'll get that to them. So that's it. I hope you guys give it a chance, give it a try. I think you're going to see an immediate result.
Any more questions, guys, before we let Barbara go? Seems like this is a short one today. I mean, it's pretty much talking about her tool that she developed. I'm so excited about this tool. I think that you guys can really help. This is just another thing that you put one of those arsenals in your tool belt to help you be able to keep continuing to grow your business. And JR, I know you're on here, and I know you do a lot. I think that this tool would probably be good for what you're doing as well, and helping you out in a big way, and just kind of taking some of that tedious task away of what you guys do. Like she said, Helium 10 is a great tool, and I use Helium 10, but it doesn't hurt to keep having tools out there that can simplify the process for you.
Yeah. Perfect. All right.
All right.
Oh, keyword. Oh, how much effort for keyword variation? So this is a little odd, but all the variations come back roughly. Like, say you have go back to the shower gel. You have a lemon and a strawberry and a lavender shower gel. They come back with, and they're all in the same variation. They will come back with the same keywords on each variation, because you're still going to be missing. It's going to take that EasyKey is going to look at that variation as one item, and it's going to compare it to the competitors on that. So that's the way Amazon looks at it, as one unit, and not necessarily, obviously they have lavender and strawberry in that, but yeah. So keyword variations, they come back basically with the same information.
All right, guys, any more questions for Barbara? If not, we thank you for joining us here. Make sure you join my next show Monday when I have Anthony, what's his last name? Cole Francisco. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. He will be joining us next Monday on the show and talking about, what's he talking about? What is it? Virtual graphics, another key element to business. So make sure you guys join us Monday for that webinar as well. We will be posting all the information for you. For you guys that are watching here, thank you again for coming here and watching my show. Thank Barbara as always for coming here and spending some time with us and giving us some insight to a tool that she has that is really helping out simplify the process for what you're doing for your businesses. And again,
Oh, one more thing, John. We forgot. We have a 15% off discount too.
look at that. See, but that's not the end.
But no, there's more.
But no, there's more.
So what did we say it would be? JBS Easy 15.
Yes.
And that'll be live a little later today and later this afternoon.
Yes. So there'll be a 15% off coupon. She's putting that in the, excuse me, in the chat so that we have that there too as well.
And that's 15% off forever.
JBS Easy 15 is the code, and that's 15% off. She said forever, not just one time. That's 15% off forever. So guys, if you're looking to do something, you want to simplify, this tool is a great way to get your keywords in there without doing any work. Let the tool do it for you. And we thank her for that offer for you guys. And again, guys, we know you're in November. This is go time. So go out there, do what you guys are doing. Keep building that business up because fourth quarter is huge, huge, huge for profit and to be able to sell just about anything you guys are looking to do. It's good for new Amazon sellers as well as existing Amazon sellers because it can give you that money to catapult you to the next level in Q1, which could be going into private label. It could give you the income that you need to be able to go into private label. So again, utilize Q4 for many different things, buying more product, going into private label, just doing other things that use it for that catapulting to be able to give you the income. Again, Barbara, thank you for being here. Guys, thank you all for being here. As always, God bless. And until I see you guys next time on Monday, and for those of you that are looking for the replay will be up very shortly. Check it out. We'll get this out to you guys. And thanks for joining us for the JB Show.
Thanks, John.